Yeah, here we are looking at the Auckland Grammar soil profiles, and it's a really good opportunity to show you just exactly what we mean when you come across soils, and perhaps you consider some soils probably more structured than others, I guess, and so they perform. I mean, if you look across New Zealand, you've kind of got typical Auckland soils, which are probably quite heavily clay dominated. And very poorly structured, so they tend not to drain very well at all. So typically the sandcarpets, the sandcarpet drainage systems have become quite common in Auckland, and here's probably a pretty unique example, which is at Auckland Grammar, where the soil structure is actually quite good, and the drainage performance of the soil is actually quite different to what the typical soils that we find. And you probably just find, and I'll just pick out of this sample on the left hand side, and you can actually feel the soil, and you can find it, and no matter how hard you kind of press it or squeeze it, it just maintains its structure. And this is after what has been quite a wet period in Auckland, and it just doesn't matter what you do to it, it just maintains its structure, loosely crumbles in your fingers, and that's exactly what we mean when we say, you know, this is a really good, well-structured soil. On the other hand, and this profile I'm just showing you here now, this is from the Auckland Grammar fields, where we've basically taken this soil and managed to avoid putting in a full drainage system, because we basically used the existing topsoil here, re-leveled the field, and the school were after what was essentially probably a little bit better performance than the field could probably deliver just by staying a straight soil. So we've looked at an option here that's managed to give them year-round use, by just applying a 100mm layer of sand as opposed to installing drainage as well, and then just relying on what is quite a good structured soil to provide the soak-away drainage underneath the profile. So you've kind of got this here, this topsoil, and you can kind of feel it's actually become quite black and mottled, probably more so you can kind of see at the interface here where it's quite distinctly orangey, and that's just because it has been such a wet winter, and it's become, you know, probably just a bit anaerobic, and you know, you've got this blackening, and it's quite interesting because this is stuff we pulled out of the trench, and which is on the same field, but you know, it's quite well aerated and coloured. And this is out of an unirrigated area, and this is out of an irrigated area, and I don't know if that's got anything to do with that, but probably find that over summer we will have to work quite hard to get this structured, because it is starting to become quite structureless. But you can feel straight away when you actually start to break it up that it's actually, you know, it's the similar story, that you can squeeze it around, but it maintains a good structure, and then that's a good test to me when you kind of squeeze it like that and then bang, and it just crumbles again. And that's what I mean by maintain the structure. Here we've got a 100mm layer, and this is actually a McCullen sand, which we've actually done some trials on and research. It's quite a calcareous soil. I mean, the calcium carbonate's well above what we would usually find ideal. The situation, we've got earthworm control at this point in time, and you can see there's been very minimal to little contamination of that sandcarpet layer, and this basically, the sandcarpet layer just allows the skull to well, it's basically buys them that full year-round uses, so that you don't get water clogging up in the top part of the profile.